I just missed a potential $4,000 to $8,000 trade. But exciting news is we passed our 50K account. The cool thing about this is I did lock myself out. I'll talk about what I saw in the morning. This 50K account, which is easier than the 150K account for whatever reason, because it's a smaller amount, but it's the same exact thing. So over 3 days, we were able to pass the 50K account, doing a few of the strategies that I'm going to talk about. Okay. Let's go to what I saw this morning. And for those of you guys that are new to prop firms, new to trading, it works. I've been using it. I've been able to maintain accounts. And so today I kind of did second against myself, but we still passed a 50K combine. Okay, so let's go through what I saw. I'll kind of break down different lines that I have on my charts too, so that way you can kind of see it. And then we'll talk about the potential of this trade once you got into it. Okay, so this is obviously NQ this morning. This is what I saw pre-market. And if you go to the 15-minute, you can kind of see where we're at. If you go to the 30-minute, you can kind of see where we're at. And I usually have things marked in regards to areas. I always, and I highly recommend for those of you guys that don't do it, to mark your 2-day lows, your 2-day highs, and also your current. Okay, so let's just mark that real quick so you can see it. All right, so if I mark my 2-day low, I'm using TradingView right now for this, but there we go. We have our low for today or yesterday. We have our 2-day low. And then right in this small area, we also have this here, and this all happened this morning. Okay, so this was basically our yesterday's high. Let's mark that. And then from there, we'll also mark our 2-day high. And why I'm going to show you this is because you're going to see it. The cleaner your charts are, the better when it comes to doing this strategy. All right. And then from there, I usually mark my 4-hour levels, which once again, I'll do another video on that. I actually have a few videos that I'll post. And then I usually mark my 1-hour level, which are the red lines. All right. So if we go back to what the day looked like today, we were above everything, right? We were above everything. We were above yesterday's high, 2-day low. And this white box that I have right here is the 5-minute opening range. I wish, and I missed it by literally a tick, was I missed this entry right in here when the market opened. If I go to the 1 minute right here, what you'll see, what I mean, this is a 1 minute chart down here at the bottom. This is my 30, and then this is a 15-minute. But if we go to the 1 minute right here, you're going to see it real quick and see it happen fairly fast. All right, so you can see there, if we go tick away. All right, so we now have 2 minutes of time right here within our same 5-minute. This is something that as of this month, I've really spent time on having the 4 charts, having a 5-minute, 30-minute, and also 1 minute, and also 15-minute too, to just kind of make ranges and see how things are also supporting themselves. Okay, so you could have, in a sense, taken this trade here if you were a very sniper, because you can see that, you could have risked the top here, but a better entry would have been once we broke down through the yesterday's high of day or 2-day high of day, you could have taken that. Okay. Now, the beauty of the market this morning is it flew all the way down. Okay. So if you took this trade, which I didn't take this trade because it was moving too fast, on NQ alone, if you just took it here from the 50% mark, you're looking at, give or take $3,000 right there. All right. How I know this is because NQ is 20 per point. So if we go here, let's just mark it here because I like simulating all this stuff. And we go to TP. Down here, you can kind of see you would have been about 31.40. And then if you risk this top right here, which I don't recommend for NQ, unless you're comfortable, you would risk basically 7,000. All right. The beauty of the market is these are different levels and zones we have here. So once we got to this area, I was expecting a pullback, which kind of happened here. All right. And so we had a pullback back to the opening range. And so my entry was right in this area right here, back to the downside. And I'll take you back to the Topstep right here. Let's go back to this trade. Let's go back to my entry. So right in this area right here is where I took that short. And once again, if you would have taken that with NQ and risk 50% or the top, here's another, $3,000 right there. If you hold it to the bottom, you're looking at anywhere between $4,500 to $5,000, $6,000 If you're a beast, you could have added, right? And so this was a strategy that happened, and you can kind of see it a little bit cleaner right here on this one right here, right? We literally went all the way down to the bottom. They literally broke down to the liquidity areas. These red areas that I have right here are liquidity. These orange areas are liquidity, and then obviously the yellow areas are the 4-hour levels. And that's pretty much it, But if you would have traded that, you could have made anywhere between $1,500, $1,000, $800, and more, depending on how you traded that. My mistake that I'm really, really working on is not getting in on these accelerations, waiting for pullbacks. And if you would have got in with this pullback right here and just let it play out, I mean, literally we go to all the way down to the liquidity right here at yesterday's, right? And so all in all, from here to here, I mean, you're looking at $6,000 of what they won, right? And this is kind of how I look at some of the trading and how I look at the chart. If you can do this consistently and be a little bit more patient, create the levels and the zones, you should be more profitable, right? And so this is the same strategy that I use to pass my 50K account in 3 days. And crazy enough, I have a few accounts, but I didn't even trade the 50K or the 150K account today. I had a huge mistake right here on Tuesday, had a huge day yesterday, and because I want to just focus and I feel like I missed that one move, I didn't trade it, right? But next time I'll trade the same exact thing. And this trade right here was exactly that same type of setup. It was a push down, and then I got in with multiple. All right, so same strategy. I'm going to be working on passing my 150K account soon, and I'll post the update on that, but that's pretty much it. And if you would have taken this trade, the same trade would have been valid on ES. Let's go to ES real quick. All right, so the ES trade, and this is a good example. I can actually do this right now for you guys. How about that? I got time. All right, so same exact thing. We're going to kind of go back, do some back testing. Here we go. This is the 6:30 a.m. candle. I usually do my highs and lows of the yesterday and 2 days. So there's 2 days right there. There's yesterday's right there. And then we do the high and low. So here is yesterday's, and then here is 2 days, which once again, you're just doing on a daily before the market opens. From there, there's only two things that can happen, right? We can either retest yesterday's or 2 days and push up, or we can continue all the way down. And so today we continued all the way down. All right, I then go to my 4-hour. Actually, before I forget, I then mark a liquidity on my daily. So here's my liquidity here. Don't worry about the titles of it. It's going to say maybe order blocks or something like that, but I'm just trying to speed through this so I can show it to you. So there's my daily liquidities. I then go to my 4-hour, which they look very similar today. And then I then go to an hour. All right. And if you were looking at the hour this morning, you would have seen that the hour, everything was like really, really tight up here. Okay. So if I go back, this is what it looks like. All right. This is the top of liquidity. And there's two things. We can either push up, retest, and then go up, or we can push down and break through. And so once again, looking at the same exact thing, and I'll actually do this. We'll do this side by side. Actually, let me go to. All right, here we go. So you're going to have a 5 minute up top and you have the 1 minute below. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And this is how I look at things. All right. So here we go. 625. You can see we have a push down at 629. Okay, there we go. So we now have our minute candle starting to work. So what you could have done, like I said, is wait for a push up, push down. All right, so there we go. All right, this now tells me that we are now pushing out. And so this happened immediately when the market happened today. All right, you could have done an opening trade or opening range trade here off this 1 minute like that, which I don't recommend all the time unless you're really fast at it. All right, or just now wait for the retest to happen. And so for me, once we see there's a breakdown here and I have my levels, all I'm doing at this point right now is just waiting for a retest to happen. So as it plays out, we go down, we get back up, right? This could have been a great retest area right here, or as I had to play out some more, you could have retested up here again too. So there's opportunities. There's definitely opportunities, and if you use the whole 5 minutes, so these were multiple opportunities for you to potentially go short. All right. And that's pretty much it. And once again, if you traded ES, here's why I like this math. Okay, if you traded ES with the same exact trade, hypothetically, let's say you waited for a retest here and you got into the downside, and let's say that you pushed right there, there's about $1,200. If you held it the whole entire time to the bottom, right, you have $1,800 with the same exact trade. All right, if you took it from up here, like we would have done with NQ, then you have $2,400 with A1, right? And you would have had to risk $562. So that's pretty much it. I took a break from posting on YouTube just so I can kind of focus on trying to pass these combines. That is it. Sorry, I got chalk on my hand, but that's pretty much it.